Hello and welcome back to What If Weekly, your Marvel Studios news roundup. I've got the latest from Ant-Man, Guardians, Midnight Suns, and a new project for you this Halloween edition. I'm a camp counselor headed out into the deep dark woods for tonight's festivities, Encyclopedia, so let's get into it. In our first segment, it has been confirmed by multiple outlets that a new writer's room is being opened next week at Disney, for a Disney Plus series following White Vision after the events of WandaVision. Said to deal with him attempting to regain his humanity after his encounter with Wanda's remembrance of him, it's possible that Elizabeth Olsen would return, but so far only Bethany is attached. The writer's room will be headed up by Jack Schaefer, the lead writer on WandaVision, so should have a good grasp on the character's appearance in the prior show. The Midnight Suns full DLC character lineup has now been revealed. After last week's leak of Storm joining the group, it has been officially confirmed that Venom, Morbius and Deadpool himself will join the ranks. Deadpool is even shown to have the most ridiculous wizard's hat, which I adore. Clearly his understanding is that supernatural equals swords and sorcery. We got our first trailer for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, soundtracked by Elton John's Yellow Brick Road. A song about leaving the shackles of fame behind and wanting to live the simple life. An interesting choice since the movie appears to begin with Scott fully embracing his fame. Having best-selling books and a podcast as shown in Ms. Marvel, a very different headspace for him after not being recognised in Endgame. The song also references The Wizard of Oz. Loki Season 1 presented a version of Kang as the man behind the curtain, just like the Wizard of Oz himself. I'm interested to see if this is going to continue in the MCU, as this trailer positions Kang as some kind of leader in a large city, in this wildly different world that Scott and his family have been whisked into, much like Dorothy. If Kang is always the wizard, who does that make the Wicked Witch that Scott's Dorothy will be sent to defeat? Or maybe Cassie is Dorothy and Scott is Toto. Interesting. Talking of his family, we get our first look at Catherine Newton, who looks better than I imagined as Cassie. I'm really looking forward to her journey in the MCU. The character in the comics is one of the founding members of the Young Avengers, having the power to shift in size without needing the technology developed by Hank Pym due to repeated exposure to Pym particles. William Jackson Harper has also been confirmed to star in the film. People have previously fancast the Midsommar and The Good Place star as Reed Richards, aka Mr. Fantastic, so people have been getting very excited. But my sources tell me that he'll be playing a much smaller role in this film. We also got a trailer for the Guardians Holiday Special, shown to be the story of the Guardians trying to cheer up Star-Lord by bringing Earth's Christmas to him, alongside Earth's greatest champion, Kevin Bacon. It will feature the first proper appearance of Cosmo in the MCU, voiced by Maria Bakalova of Borat 2 and Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. According to a Marvel press release, Michael Rooker will also be reprising his role as Yondu. James Gunn has had a very big week, with it also announced that he will be the co-head of the newly formed DC Studios. The hierarchy of power at DC truly has changed. Alongside producer Peter Safran, they will take on a Kevin Feige-like role for Warner Bros. And be in charge of DC's TV and film divisions. Gunn will of course still be finishing off Guardians 3 and his promotional work for the final part of that trilogy. The upcoming Joker 2 is an exception to their rule, still being overseen by Warner's film co-chair Michael DeLuca. It's still unclear where Matt Reeves' Batman franchise falls. In other DC news, Greg Berlanti's Green Lantern show, long gestating at HBO Max, has suffered a large setback, losing its writer after writing 8 episodes for the show. This is apparently due to the many regime changes at Warner DC this past year. The show was set to focus on 2 Green Lanterns, the standoffish Guy Gardner in the present, and Alan Scott, an openly gay man in the 1940s. However, it will now focus on John Stewart, a Green Lantern who was the second black superhero to ever appear in DC Comics. That's all the time we have for this week's edition of What If Weekly. Which was your favourite trailer this week? How do you feel about James Gunn's big move? Was anyone else just happy to see that Marvel special presentation stinger again? Subscribe for more news every Monday. I've been Encyclopedia, and until next time, stay strong, true believers.